Welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show weekly podcast presented by Allen Music Shop. Co-hosts Tim Batts and 20-time Bluegrass Guitar Player of the Year Josh Williams will talk about the latest bluegrass news, interview folks in the industry, and give you lighthearted stories and music tips along the way. Now, here's Tim and Josh.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. This is your host, Timothy Wayne Batts. What's your whole name, Joshua?
I'm not going to tell you that, but actually, I don't mind. It's Joshua Seth.
Joshua Seth Williams.
Yep.
Timothy Wayne Batts and Joshua Seth Williams right here for you on the Hometown Bluegrass Show. I don't know why. It just popped into my head. I never had thought about what your whole name was before.
Well, I've never cared what yours was, so it's all good, man.
There we go. Hey, at least you're honest.
Although Wayne is a very cool middle name.
Oh,
so
well.
that's a very strong middle name.
Well, that was my dad's name. So,
was it?
Yeah, so named
Very
after
cool.
my old pappy, so.
My dad was William was his first name.
Oh, yeah?
Williams.
Well, really?
Yeah.
So no wonder people called him Tony.
Yeah, William Anthony was his name. And but he always told me, he said, I thought it was the cruelest thing that my parents could have done was name my first name one letter different than my last name.
Oh, my gosh. I never thought about that. That is crazy.
He said it was always weird when it was William Williams and Philip Phillips and,
Yeah.
those people like that,
That's true. Well, I used to go to church with a lady named Merry Christmas.
My cousin's name is Mary. That was her, that's her name, Merry Christmas.
Really?
Sure enough, yeah.
Well, maybe the same lady. I don't know. Her son was Steve Christmas, but anyway.
Did you say Christmas son or Christmas?
No, Steve. Her son was Steve Christmas, and her name was Merry Christmas. I didn't know if it was the same person, but
no, it's
there can't
probably
be too many
not.
Merry Christmases. Right?
No, that's probably not a whole bunch of them. But the weird thing is her birthday's on 4th of July. I never. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, her birthday's on Christmas, but yeah, that's her name, and she goes by Chris.
Oh, this lady was married into so her maiden name wasn't, so she married a guy named Christmas. So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, this is her first and middle name. Merry Christmas.
really,
Yeah.
Well, it's about that time, man. Christmas is here as we record this. It is December the 9th, and this will air here in a few days. And man, it's here.
Yeah, it's upon us.
Yep, it is.
Christmas
for sure.
times are coming. Christmas times are coming.
I sang that I sing at a few assisted livings every month, and they ask for a Christmas song, and that's literally like the only Christmas song that I know. I'm not a big fan of Christmas music, but
Some of it's good.
yeah, I like some of it.
Have you heard if? I don't mean to interrupt your story, but are they banning "Baby It's Cold Outside" this year? Do you know?
I do not know.
Well, they did in years past because they say it's too suggestive.
Really?
Yes.
I'm waiting for the punchline. You're being
No,
serious.
this is very serious.
Oh.
Like most radio stations wouldn't play it because it's "Baby It's Cold Outside." I really shouldn't stay. I must go. Basically where she's like saying I gotta leave, and he's saying no, have another drink. He's being a little pushy.
I got you.
They said it was a little rapey, so.
Well, a little rapey.
Yeah. In the meantime, also the same year, the number one song on radio was "WAP," and that's all I'll say. Yeah, that was actually
Yeah. Well,
we'll leave it at that.
As somebody
but
who has to.
that's just what's messed up with
Somebody who
America.
DJs some weddings now and again. I happen to be familiar with that song.
Do you? You know it?
I do.
Well, that was the number one song in the country while they were banning.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
"Baby It's Cold
Okay.
Outside." But anyway, go ahead. What were you
No.
saying about your Christmas songs?
I've done forgot now, but
that's too bad.
Yeah.
don't care
I
much for-
played "Christmas Time's a Coming." That was the only Christmas song I knew.
Mhm.
So thought, well, we're gonna do Bill Monroe. We're gonna do Christmas. Might as well, So
One of my favorite Bill Monroe stories I heard Ricky Skaggs tell. And they were at the Opry, and Bill was kind of sitting, in the backstage area and kind of watching the show, I guess. And Ricky came up and said, "Hey, Bill, do you mind? Are you guys doing Christmas Time's a Coming?" And he said, "No, I don't believe so." And he said, "Well, do you mind if we do it?" He said, "That's a powerful number there. You go right ahead and you do that." and just being funny, Ricky said, So who was it? Who was the first one to record that? Was that Jimmy Martin that recorded that? And of course it wasn't, you know. So Bill Monroe said, "Psst, oh, Jimmy Martin, that boy doesn't even believe in Santa Claus."
Oh my Lord, that's hilarious.
Oh, I know. I thought that was so good.
Oh man. Yeah, I think Bill recorded that in the early 50s, I believe, like 53 or something.
Yeah.
So it's been around a long time. So
Yep.
yeah, I don't know that many.
Tex Logan
Christmas
wrote that
songs,
one.
but
The old fiddle player that actually
yeah.
played for Bill, and
That's cool.
he wrote that song, Christmas Time's Coming.
What would be your favorite Christmas song? Do you have one song that you just like, Christmas song? Out of all the millions of Christmas songs?
That's a good question. There's a lot of them that it doesn't feel like Christmas till you hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the staple, the Christmas song, you know,
Right.
the chestnuts roasting on an
Yeah.
open fire. You know, I love to hear Nat King Cole's version of that, which is the version, you know. But I also really liked, there's a few songs that James Taylor put out on his Christmas album, you know, that was really good.
Oh,
that's just an entire from start to finish. That album is so good.
I love anything he does.
So yeah, I got that for Christmas one year, and I literally played it like all night while we were having our family stuff and all of that stuff. But Keith Whitley wrote a really cool Christmas song too, called "The New Kid in Town."
Yeah,
great song.
Oh yeah,
So
that is a great song. A lot of people have tried to redo that, but yep, that's a good one. I tell you, one of my favorites is a song that Dolly Parton wrote called "Circle of Love."
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Nettles recorded that later on, and I like Jennifer Nettles' version really well. But that's a beautiful song.
Did she do that for the movie?
I'm not sure.
Was that on the Coat of Many Colors movie?
I don't know. I saw that movie, but I don't remember if it was or not. But not sure if it was or not.
I can't remember.
I can't either.
I've only seen that movie once. I loved it.
Yeah, I saw it.
But I need to see it again. Yeah.
That reminds me, while I'm asking you these questions, it just dawned on me. We had a listener write in on the Facebook page, and I may have forgotten to ask you this, but somebody wanted to know if you could put a band together, play with like 4 other musicians in a 5-piece bluegrass band, who would you choose, dead or alive? Who would
oh my gosh!
Yeah. I didn't think I'd asked you that before, but somebody wrote in on our Facebook page and was asking that question.
Wow. I think I would probably choose the original. Well, not the original, but the 1975 J.D. Crowe and the New South, and I'll just stand in the back and play rhythm. That's what I'd do.
There you go. We can't go wrong with that.
I mean, you can't beat Skaggs and Tony together, and you know, Flux, and just all that stuff was just so good, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one for sure. So, well, this is our 45th episode, and we are cruising right along. We've got a lot of great things coming for you. We're looking forward to 2025. We're almost a year into this podcast, and just trying to make some decisions on whether or not we're going to still put up with each other and keep it going or not. No, I'm just teasing. But we're going to have some fun with it.
It's all right.
Sure.
I've been fired before.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Whatever. Can't fire from a job you don't get paid for. Right?
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah, so we have to pay to do this job actually, but it's fun, and we got a lot of cool things coming up. We got a great show tonight. We got our old buddy Jake Vanover is going to be our guest tonight, and which is a great segue into what I wanted to talk about next. This past Friday night, we had another fundraiser for the Hurricane Helene victims at the Kentucky Opry in Benton, and we had a great night, man. We had
wasn't that fun?
2 bands, and Colton Baker came and conned you into playing with him, and
yeah, there were 2 bands. I played 2 for 2 that night.
You played both bands, and then Southern Legacy, 3/5 of Southern Legacy was there, and man, what a great night! We raised almost $4,000, and just had a lot of great fun. So
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that.
Don Rigsby wasn't able to be there, and Ron Block was not able to be there, but we had some great fill-ins.
They were there in spirit.
Absolutely.
They were there in spirit. Yeah, we had Ronnie Stewart come in and play banjo with us. And
he's a phenomenal banjo player.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
He's
he really
such
is.
a nice guy, dude.
He is. He really is, man.
Yeah.
And he was one of those kids that people would go around, hoping to see Fiddlin' Ron Stewart, or Fiddlin' Ronnie. They call him
really?
Fiddlin' Ronnie Stewart, little Fiddlin' Ronnie Stewart. Whenever
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's always just been amazing. But he's one of the best there is on anything that he picks up. Honestly. And
he
just
really
a great
is.
dude.
And his wife's got a great band, Backwoods Bluegrass, that I have recently discovered, and she plays banjo in that band and sings, and they're a 4-piece bluegrass band, and
she's a great banjo player.
Yeah, and just great harmonies in that group. So, the segue is Jake Vanover is going to be our guest tonight, and he filled in on guitar for you guys, and you had to switch over to the mandolin. And so just kind of flop some instruments around, but man, it was fun.
It was different. I wasn't, I haven't played mandolin when's the last time I borrowed your mandolin? Back in the summer, spring, or something like that?
Yeah, in the summer, yeah.
And so I hadn't played one since then. And by the end of the night, I started feeling pretty good on it, just in time to quit.
Yeah,
but,
I walked up on stage after, and you handed it to me and said, "Here you go. You might need to change the strings on this thing."
Yeah, they might be in bad shape. I'm not sure, but it was fun, man. I really enjoyed it, and Jake did a great job. So did Ron. Well, all the guys did. Of course, Mike and Steve are just amazing guys, amazing musicians, amazing showmen, and and you. Of course, you'd already known Teresa, but you get to hang out with her, and she works probably harder than any of us, and she's just so awesome.
She was fluttering bee all around the Opry that night, and we had a good time. And she was such a help for me. I'd never really done a fundraiser like that. I went and helped her with the one out at the MAC in Prestonsburg, and I just kind of volunteered and drove out there and did what I could, whatever she asked me to do, and ended up just taking pictures and shooting video and stuff mainly. But she came and just jumped right in, helped me, tell me how to do this kind of raffle and this, and I couldn't have done it without her. So
yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. But we're going to talk to Jake here in a little bit and ask him what he thought about it.
What did you say we raised?
It was almost $4,000. I think it was $3,821. I think is
nice.
What it actually was. So we're going to send the United Way of Haywood County, North Carolina, a check from the Jackson Purchase Friends of Bluegrass for $4,000, and talk to them today. And they're going to that money, 100% of it, will go directly to the families of the hurricane and the flooding victims, and go towards new appliances and new clothes and new furnishings, and try to get these people back in houses, because there is a ton of people still living in tents by the river.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
Anyway, that's what we're going to try to do, and we worked hard to raise a little bit, and I know it's not much, but every little bit helps. So
yeah, and and it doesn't stop here, folks. Those people are still out of stuff, and they need help. So even we've done a couple of fundraisers here, but everybody still needs help. So if you're able to give, I know it's holiday season and all of that, and money's tight everywhere. We get that, but these I try to remember like what Don had brought to our attention up there in Prestonsburg, where it's like, what, things might be bad for us, but when we go home, we're going to be warm. We're going to be in a house, in a bed, and these folks aren't, so they need help. So just keep that in mind. Maybe one less Christmas gift this year. For family or something, and just those kids. There's a bunch of kids that are homeless right now. And they need Christmas too.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. If you'd like to help in any way, Jackson Purchase Friends of Bluegrass is a nonprofit organization. You can reach out on my website, timbats.com. You can send us a message on there. If you'd like to give, we can direct that money and add it to what we're going to give for them. But anyway, we can all help. We appreciate it, because we can't wait on the government to do it, because it's going to take too long. So
yeah, that's right.
Another thing I want to mention real quick, our prayers and hearts go out to the family of Mike Duncan. Mike, I've never met personally, but he was dear friends with Balsam Range. Speaking of Haywood County, North Carolina, he was their videographer, photographer for many years, and helped them with their Arts and Music Festival. And they were doing a fundraiser Saturday night there in Haywood County, and Mike passed away unexpectedly during the event even. So family, please remember them in your prayers. And the family of Mike Duncan, a photographer and videographer with Balsam Range. So just found that out today. So it's a bad time of year for that kind of thing for sure. So
Yeah, absolutely.
But well, we're excited, man. We got Josh going to play a Tony Rice number that someone requested here in a little bit, and we're going to get him to teach us how to play that on the guitar, and then we're going to talk to Jake here in a little bit, and we'll be right back right after these messages. Allen Music, located in historic downtown Paducah, Kentucky, is your source for fine guitars and all types of acoustic instruments. At Allen Music, we are experienced and enthusiastic players of everything we offer. Allen Music is family-owned and has been serving musicians since 1976. So stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Allen Music, 215 Kentucky Avenue, downtown Paducah, or check them out online at allenmusicshop.com.
Custom Automotive in Calvert City, Kentucky has been a family-operated business for over 50 years. When you call Custom Automotive, you'll talk to an experienced tire and wheel expert. They install wheels and tires on thousands of vehicles every year in addition to their online sales. Stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Custom Automotive, Highway 62, Calvert City, Kentucky, 270-395-7611. Or visit them online at customautoonline.com.
The Lake House Inn at Sled Creek has undergone complete renovation in 2023. Our outdoor space is unlike any other at Kentucky Lake. With 2 in-ground pools, 18 rooms, and 4 cabins, we're just a stone's throw away from Kentucky Dam. If you're looking to make memories with your family, this nostalgic inn is for you. Welcome to your lake house, where modern meets rustic and becomes home. Reserve online at lakehouseinn.com.
Howdy, friends. I'm Banjo Ben Clark, and you're listening to my good buddies Tim Batts and Josh Williams on the Hometown Bluegrass Show. You've tuned in because you like valuable conversation about the world's best music. And if you want more good stuff like that, come on over to my website, banjobenclark.com, where you can learn how to play and purchase anything you might need when it comes to bluegrass-related instruments and accessories. My Gold Pick members over there can access hundreds of lessons for banjo, guitar, and mandolin with all kinds of resources to help you move on down the road with your picking skills. And if you're looking to purchase something, the deals can't be beat at Banjo Ben's General Store. All there on the same website, banjobenclark.com. Now back to the show.
All right. Thank you, Banjo Ben. We appreciate their support. And all you got to do is go to banjobenclark.com, and they have tons of accessories and musical instruments and everything you need to play bluegrass music. And if you just use the promo code Hometown10, it'll save you 10% on any purchase that you make on there. That does exclude their music lessons. They do online lessons, and I would highly encourage you to check those out as well. So, Banjo Ben, thank you for supporting the Hometown Bluegrass Show.
Thank you.
So one quick announcement I do want to make is our good buddies, Authentic Unlimited, are putting on a fabulous Christmas concert coming up in Dandridge, Tennessee, December the 21st at the Field of Dreams Activity Center. Now, these guys, if you haven't heard it, came out with a Christmas album just about a week or two ago, and it is fabulous as anything these guys put out. And they're just super great guys, and they came and helped us out in Prestonsburg, Kentucky for the fundraiser out there, and we wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah,
for
we
their
want to
show.
help them out. So y'all, if you ain't got nothing going on December 21st, come out to the big old show.
Absolutely. Tickets for the event are still available, but they are going fast, so be sure and get yours while you can. The doors open at 6. The show begins at 7 p.m., and that is in Dandridge, Tennessee at the Field of Dreams Activity Center. Authentic Unlimited, featuring their Christmas Spirit holiday album that just recently came out, and I guarantee you that'll be a great show. So we had a listener write in and wanted to hear if Josh could play a Tony Rice song, as he does many times, but this was kind of a song that I don't guess I've ever heard you do before. And
well, this is off of the Church Street Blues album that Tony did in '83, and it is not easy. Just it's got some rhythmic stuff going on that's very hard to do while you're singing, but it's an old folk song, and anyway, I'll give it a shot here. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe I can get through it. We'll see. But I did do this down at the Tony Rice Memorial Festival back around Memorial Day weekend.
Did you?
So yeah, I did a live performance of that album. So a lot of practice time on that one. I love doing that though because it makes me practice.
Oh, absolutely. So this is any old time, and you can do it in the key of.
It's got to be Tony, so it's C sharp.
C.
So, capo on the first fret, folks. Here we go. I just received your letter. You're down and out, you say. At first, I thought I would tell you to travel down the other way. But in my memory lingers all you once were to me. So I'm gonna give you just one more chance to prove what you can be. Any old time you wanna come back home, drop me a line and honey say no more you roam. You had your chance to play the game fair. When you left me, sweetheart, you only left the love that cared. Now that you're down, I'm gonna stick by you. If you would only tell me that your roaming days are through, you'll find me here like the day you left me alone. Any old time you wanna come back home. Any old time you wanna come back home, drop me a line and honey say no more you'll roam. You had your chance to play the game fair. When you left me, sweetheart, you only left the love that cared. Now that you're down, I'm gonna stick by you. If you would only tell me your roaming days are through, you'll find me here like the day you left me alone. Any old time you wanna come back home.
That's not an easy song.
No, been a long time. But I do want to think, I have to say, when I was first working on this, I was kind of struggling with the chords and the especially the little couple of notes in the solo. And I found a guy that I know over in North Carolina that does the festival, or does the tablature for Tony's stuff. And his name's Marcel, and he does he's got a website, Lessons with Marcel. And I ended up talking to him. I met him at the festival year before at the Tony Rice Memorial Festival there in Camp Springs, North Carolina. And we got to know each other a little bit. And anyway, when I decided I was going to do this live thing, live performance of that album, and I did. I started very top of the record all the way down through the end of it, which is Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So, yeah. Anyway, I found a video that Marcel did where he was teaching that solo. So I actually got those extra notes that I couldn't figure out on my own from Marcel. So thank you, Marcel, for your help. So if you guys are struggling guitar players and want to learn some of this Tony Rice stuff, Marcel does a great job teaching those breaks and solos and stuff that he does on his records. So y'all check him out. Lessons with Marcel. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're almost like. I mean, it's like not a triplet. It's like a I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it have a name for it?
Well, so Tony likes to play a note and then strum the downbeat. So there's like, they're so it's if you're dealing with 4/4 timing, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Those are triplets, and then you got the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so those are the 16th notes. So you've got quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and those are the 16ths that are that fast ones. But they're just compared to when you're used to hearing just your quarter notes, and then you hear the or eighth notes or whatever they are without breaking it down and actually looking at it. But yeah, they're just faster notes, but the way that they're played is, if you miss one, you're done.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That's absolutely.
Yeah. You miss one, you're out of there, man, because each one leads to the next, and if you don't get that one, you're stuck in the middle there on the shoulder, So,
absolutely. You're cold on the shoulder.
That's right.
Well, thanks to Corey Pellerin, our faithful listener, for sending that in. He said, I'd love to hear Josh play this. I know it's a long shot, as I've never heard him do it, but I know how great he is, and I know he's a big Tony Rice and Keith Whitley fan, and they both did this song. It would be so awesome. Thank you. So thanks, Corey, for sending that in, and appreciate that very much. Man. So I don't know if you're thinking Corey right now or not.
Oh no, I'm glad to do it, man. I'll make myself look stupid. I don't care. I made a living out of it. So
we talked before we went on the air here, and our 1-year anniversary is coming up next month for the podcast, and I think we're gonna do like a 1-year celebration podcast on stage at the Kentucky Opry, maybe, and get Josh to do a breakdown of a bunch of different Tony Rice songs, and we're going to make a podcast out of it. So you guys stay tuned for that. That'll be a fun time, and
I'll try to think of some stories maybe that I haven't told yet from my time with Tony.
Yeah,
so
that'd be awesome. Heck yeah, that'd be so fun. Be a great podcast, and not only that, but we're going to make a live show out of it as well. So if you're in that area in the 1st of February. So stay tuned for more information on that. Next, coming up, we got Jake Vanover, so don't go anywhere. We'll talk with Jake when we come back right after this.
For over 50 years, Puckett's Jewelry in Benton, Kentucky has been a trusted choice for fine jewelry that will last a lifetime and help you celebrate life's most precious moments. The new owners, Bart and Hannah Lewis, are excited to continue the Puckett's Jewelry legacy in Marshall County and are proud to support bluegrass music. Puckett's Jewelry on the Square in Benton, Kentucky. Visit them online at puckettsjewelry.com.
Discover the hidden gems of Kentucky's Great River Road, winding through Ballard, Carlisle, Hickman, and Fulton counties along the mighty Mississippi River. From breathtaking river views to charming small towns, this scenic byway offers adventure at every turn. Explore rich history, savor local flavors, and enjoy outdoor activities like hiking, fishing, and wildlife watching. Kentucky's Great River Road, where the beauty of the Mississippi meets the heart of small-town Kentucky. Come for the journey, stay for the experience. Plan your trip today at kygrro.com.
Hey, this is Josh Williams for Page Capos. The Page Capo is lightweight, durable, and quickly attaches and allows you to change frets with ease. With controlled tension capabilities, Page Capo always stays in tune. But don't just take my word for it. Page Capos is also used by folks like Vince Gill, Ron Block, Tim O'Brien, Cody Kilby, Tommy Emanuel, and James Taylor. So don't trust just any capo. Use what the pros use. Listen to the Hometown Bluegrass Show podcast for your chance to win a Page Capo on every episode. Do what I do and trust Page Capos. Order online at pagecapo.com.
Welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Thank you to Page Capos for being one of our main sponsors for the podcast. And as you well know, we do give away a free Page Capo in every episode. And so all you got to do is listen to our podcast. And then on Friday morning, I will post the link to the podcast on our Hometown Bluegrass Show Facebook page. And if you are the first one to answer the trivia question on there, then you will win a free Page Capo. So listen to the podcast and then check us out on Facebook on Friday morning. Be the first one to chime in. So
yes.
And anyway, but we are way more excited even now than winning a free Page Capo. we're excited to talk to our good buddy, Jake Vanover. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
Man, we are doing fabulous-o. And did you finally recover from the big fundraiser Friday night down here in our neck of the woods?
I did. Yeah, I was on cloud nine, man. That's the most fun I've had on stage in a while. So.
Well, you said that, and
That was a blast.
I couldn't believe it. Man, what a great night.
And thank you so much for doing it, by the way, man, especially on short notice. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We had, of course, Colton Baker with Russell Moore, third time out, put a little band together and played, and then Southern Legacy played, but Don Rigsby and Ron Block couldn't be there, so Ron Stewart filled in for Ron Block, and Jake Vanover came and filled in and played guitar and sang harmony, and Josh switched over and played the mandolin, and it just made, I mean, you couldn't tell that you guys hadn't played together before, and it was just a great night. We raised almost $4,000, and a big part of it was thanks to you, buddy, so...
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So I know it's a pretty good little hike from Berea, Kentucky to Benton, Kentucky. I know.
It's not that bad when somebody else drives, you know.
Yeah, thanks to Mike and Teresa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Mike wasn't feeling well on the ride home, and so may have to stop 2 or 3 times. I don't know, but
Yeah, we stopped once to get fuel, and I needed cigarettes, and and then we stopped again because Mike got sick. So yeah, it was.
I don't know.
That's
Mike
what
was
I heard.
sick. Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Teresa said he wasn't feeling well, and after the show that night, he started feeling bad. And the next morning, he was not feeling well at all. So
Well, daggone.
she blamed it on grandkids' germs. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
Well, yeah, I hope none of us.
I know. I told Teresa, I said, I don't think I kissed Mike on the mouth, but I have to think about it. I'm not sure. She said, well, I hope you didn't. Oh, man. But we had a great time. It was a good crowd, and
It was
super great night. Lots of fun. So really appreciate you doing this. So what have you been up to, man? And what's been going on with you lately?
Well, here lately, I've been, playing with Jeff Parker and his band, and we've played some dates. I played Palatka once, Ernie Evans Festival. Played that festival once back in the summer with Jeff, and then I ended up playing it again, filling in with some guys. So it worked out good. But we haven't played a lot of dates.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to stay as busy as we can, and then I think he's going back with Daly and Vincent. I think starting in January he'll be full time with them, and then I think he's still going to book dates when he's off. Going to try to. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had him on a couple weeks ago, I think, and he said that he had taken that job back with them. So I'm sure that'll keep him busy, and you'll have to be playing with somebody else. I mean, I think your opportunities are going to come, and not going to be, hard to choose. I'm sure you're going to have lots of work to do. I know you play some in local with a band, play a lot of country music too. I know you're well versed in that as well, aren't you?
That's what I'm shooting for. Yeah, I'm actually working with a producer named Keith Stiegel out of Nashville, and we're trying to just get some stuff finished up so I can go lay down some vocals and put out some songs. And I'm hoping something comes out of it. Everybody always says, "Why don't you put a bluegrass band together?" And I'm like, "Well, who would I call to get? Because everybody's playing with somebody,
Yeah.
And I don't really know what's going on. I haven't been in the world, that bluegrass world, that circle since Doyle retired. So,
yeah, let's talk about that. I know you spent some time with Doyle, Lawson, and Quicksilver, and that had to be a fun time for you.
Yeah, other than singing like a little girl most of the time, yeah, it was all right.
But you're so good at it. There's not many people. There's not many people that can cut that stuff. I mean, the way that you do it is very good. And
well, I appreciate it. I never aspired to be a tenor singer. I always liked singing the third, like singing baritone. That third part is kind of laying in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you don't have, I mean, a lot of stuff you do is, lead vocal and tenor vocal. Yeah, you can do that. But when you got that other part, it just adds that bottom end. And I always loved that, with like Jimmy Fortune, that was what I did with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always great to hear and feel that harmony. But yeah, with Doyle, I was singing. I did a lot of lead singing with Doyle. Seemed like, and I did tenor. Whenever he told me, it's one of those jobs you just whatever you tell me, I'll do it.
Yeah, you probably don't say no to Doyle.
Not if I'm paying you.
Did. Yeah, if
you
did. Yeah, why am I paying you? It shape up or ship out. Was his. That was his motto.
Well, we talked to Doyle a long time ago. We had him on several months ago. But like when you guys recorded that live album in the Czech, right? You were part of that, right?
Yeah.
And that when you sang Julianne on there, I think he told us that like that was the last song of the night, and like the applause just went on and on and on, like they wanted more and more. And you can hear him in the live album. He goes, "Okay, thank y'all, that's it,
yeah.
Thank y'all, that's it."
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Yeah, he said something like that. Every time I listen to that song, I listen for that. It's so funny. We're done. I think that is what he said.
Yeah, we ended up doing. I can't remember if we did it when we came back out for the second set, or if we did it as an encore or something. I can't remember, but we told Doyle, it was like, why don't you do Out in the Cold World?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't sing with him on it. And he was like, oh, man, I don't know. Son, I don't know if I can remember it. I said, you can remember it. Me and Jerry Coles on, you do it. And, man, when Joe Dean kicked that off, that rhythm section just felt so right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just hammering. And he sang it as good as he ever did,
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anybody play, a long time like that and just absolutely never lose their ability. Like, he never lost his ability to play, never lost his ability to sing.
Yeah. Yeah, he went out on top. I mean, he was just so good.
Well, how many years was it when, that he would hire people that could sing that high part, so he hardly ever sang tenor.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time he sang the lowest of the three parts. And then would turn around and do an album band show and sing all the tenor all night. And it's just, that was one of my, I remember the first time I sang with Doyle, and it ended up being at the Mac Festival. And they had me and Doyle and Crow do something together, and it was just like, holy crap! I've never sang with Doyle before, and we did "Letter from My Darling," and of course he ended up kicking it way too slow. We're like, oh no, but we got through it, and it was just like, wow, this is so awesome! I'm singing with Doyle Lawson. What was that like for you when you first started singing with him and stuff?
So we went down. We rehearsed for 2 weeks. Before the first show, and I was working a factory job, and it was funny because I was playing with Jeff at the time and working in a factory, and I ended up having to work, like they told me, you're going to have to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I was like, well, music is over. That's it. I'm done. So, and I told the lady I was with at the time, my little boy's mom, I told her, I was like, yeah, I think I'm quitting. I think this is a sign, it's not working out. And because Jeff, I didn't know how busy he was going to be, and it just wasn't paying my bills, and because he hadn't officially came out and said, I've got a band together, Jeff Parker and Company or whatever. He was about to. But the day after I pretty much decided to quit playing music, Josh Swift called and was like, hey, you want to come try out for Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver? And my reply was, why? Why? And he said, well, Doyle's going to, how this business is. There's always changes being made, especially in Doyle's band. And I think the other guys are going somewhere else. And I was like, okay, well, why? Why would you call me? And he's like, well, I think you'd be a good fit. And I was like, okay, well, when I went down and auditioned, I expected, okay, I'm going to get to meet Doyle. That was it. And so I went down there, prepared whatever songs Josh Swift had told me to prepare. And he asked me, and he said, son, who are some of your favorite singers? And I never named one bluegrass singer other than Keith. I said, George Jones, Merle Haggard, and Keith Whitley. He said, well, that's a pretty good place to start. And so we sang together, we did our thing or whatever, and I found out weeks later that I got the job. Well, in rehearsals, it wasn't grueling like everybody, probably like it used to be. We didn't do, 20 hours a day or nothing like that, but we did rehearse most of the day for 2 weeks. And I told Doyle, I was like, I can't remember all these songs. My nerves are bad. Like, can I have lyrics on stage? Yeah, son, you do whatever you need to do. So I had these lyrics, but I would close my eyes when I sang. And I remember the
hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And finally he caught on to that. And I guess it was just a security blanket, but he was like, son, we're going to take those lyrics off stage. I said, why? He said, because you close your eyes when you sing and you're not even looking at them. And I said, good point. That's
fair enough.
And, yeah. So I remember we kicked the first song off, which was Always Driving It Home. That was the first song we did, every show we did. And we did that, and then it got to Doyle's mandolin break. And it was, we was using in-ear monitors, and I had that mandolin. I could just hear that tone and that technique in my ear. And I looked over, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm on stage with Doyle Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a moment, the whole 2 years, because I was there till COVID hit, but I think I had a moment like that every single night we played.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like I got used to it. It was, man, when you hear that chop and that mandolin tone and that baritone vocal, just gelling right in there, it's like, I don't know. It's so many times I grew up playing guitar with the album band or Doyle's music, just listening to it and playing along with it. And then when you're on stage with the guy doing it, it's like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you've been playing a long time. I mean, when did you start playing music?
Oh, man. I've been playing about 20 years, I guess.
Yeah. How old were you when you started?
I was 10 years old, I believe.
Yeah. Did you start playing the guitar or?
No, I started out taking banjo lessons from a guy locally here that he was pretty good. He knew the rolls and the method to it, and he was trying to teach me this stuff. And I'm like, man, I am losing my sanity trying to learn this. And so I was in elementary school, when I was doing that. So I laid the banjo down, and I'd always chop the mandolin. People that I was around was teaching me to, stuff about music. And the first thing I learned was timing. Mm-hmm. And so I chopped the mandolin until I got to where I could learn chords on it. And never could really play a mandolin, but I could play just enough. I knew just enough to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But then my dad played guitar. My stepdad at the time played guitar and piano. And he played mandolin and bass too. I mean, just local, mm-hmm. We just did local gigs and playing in church and stuff like that. Yeah. But he got me started playing guitar, and I couldn't change chords without looking at the neck. Mm-hmm. And he said, when it gets dark, go lock yourself in your bedroom. No lights, and play until you get to where you can change chords without having to look at it. So I did that, and then I started getting to where there was a buddy of mine taught me some basic rice licks, and I started playing lead. And so I would sit on YouTube and try to watch. I watched every Tony video there was, Tony Rice and Clarence White, learned from listening to those guys. Then started listening to this cat come along named Josh Williams, and I was like, good God, who's this guy?
That's what I
who's
say.
this guy? What
That's
a
what we all
loser.
I was like, man. So I watched. I remember I locked myself in the bedroom for 8 hours learning to play Freeborn Man, listening to Tony, and I stayed in there, dude. I didn't come out until I felt like I could play it halfway decent. So,
well, that's a great segue because I want to talk about this. So you were at the Kentucky Opry Friday night for our fundraiser and playing with Southern Legacy. You're standing by Josh and y'all get ready to close the show. And Josh goes, we're going to close this. And you guys do a dueling guitar version of Freeborn Man.
Well, it was funny because he had the guitar, and I thought, well, maybe we'll do something like Blue Railroad Train or something because I knew I could play that one. That one's pretty simple.
So
to
you
play.
didn't know what he was about to do?
No, I didn't tell him.
I said I looked over at Josh and I said, hey, what we doing? Because that was the whole night. Like, what we doing next? And,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, what we doing, Josh? He said, you and I are going to do Freeborn Man. And I thought, oh, no. I was like, man, I hope I can remember this.
I looked over at Mike and I said, hey, Mike, what do we usually close with? And all he did was like, and he just kind of like pointed his hand out at me, like, and I'm like, what is it? What do we close with? And he's like, he just kept doing that, like, and I'm like, oh, Freeborn Man. He's like, yeah, like, duh, just so I'm like, okay, like I know how we're gonna do this.
You've closed every show you probably ever done.
Exactly, that's pretty much how it's been. So it's like, okay, yeah, I forgot. So having the mandolin on me was like, it kind of messed my whole night up. That was my work phone. So sorry about that.
No problem.
Anyway,
blown up here.
Yeah, I have too many phones.
Well, it was so cool, man. I mean, you guys just pulled it out of your butt, and I was wondering because I was sitting in the back at the time in the sound booth, and then you said we're going to do one more, so I'm scrambling to try to find the mic because I was kind of emceeing or whatever, and then all of a sudden you took off on that, classic lick, and I was like, oh man, here we go. This ought to be interesting, and
it was.
It was. So a friend of ours, Katie McCoy, recorded it. I'm so glad she did. Halfway through, I'm going, why am I not videoing this? And so luckily she was sitting down front and recorded it, and it's on her Facebook page, and she tagged Jake, and it's on my Facebook page. So get on there and check it out. I think I shared it on our Hometown Bluegrass Show Facebook page as well, but she recorded the whole song, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So
it was a lot of fun. I was like on cloud nine, man, because I was like, I used to watch videos of Josh doing that and like, okay, what on earth is he doing? How is he doing that? And I never did figure out what he was doing. I of course, I pulled out, what Tony licks I could actually do. And I kind of do my own thing when I play. I've got a lot of different influences.
Doing your own thing is what you need to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's and it works, dude. You played great. I mean,
and I appreciate it. When I went with Doyle, I did not expect to be playing lead, and he was like, we did a rehearsal, and we did, I think it was our last goodbye. We pulled that one out, and the way Doyle always did it, he kicked off in the 4. Mm-hmm. And it was a different arrangement than what you normally hear on it. But we did that. He looked at me and he said, play one. And I did. And then after that song, he stopped and he said, told Josh Swift, he said, get a microphone that is absolutely the best mic to put on a guitar. He said, because I want to have a lead player this go around. And I was like, well, that's great. So,
Well, that's got to tell you
ended up
something right there.
playing.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, and Doyle always told me, he said, I like your attack when you play guitar. And I always have kind of a hard, like I'm in your face with it when I play. I don't play real light or real quiet, you know.
Yeah. Well, your guitar that you had the other night, what is that again? That builder of that thing sounds good.
That is called a Furch, Furch. They're made in the Czech Republic, and I actually got that guitar about 6 or 8 months into being with Doyle. But they swore by them. They were like, man, those are the best guitars as far as, you know, custom builders that are not, you know, Martin or whatever. And
Well, the thing sounds good,
so
man.
I got that one. It actually sounds night and day different than how it did when I first got it. Like it's opened up so much. And of course, I beat it to death. You know, I'm playing all the time. So
Yeah. Well, you are, and I think you're going to be playing a lot more soon. So you've shared the stage with Doyle Lawson, and you got to play with Josh the other night. You know, you shared the stage with some guy named Jimmy Fortune for a while. So, I mean, it's a pretty good little resume there, buddy.
Yeah, I'd say minus my part, but yeah, between Doyle and Jimmy Fortune, absolutely.
Yeah, we on the cruise, we got to play. Our band backed up David Frizzell and T. Graham Brown and Lacey J. Dalton, Val Story. So I actually I've got to be around a lot of people I grew up listening to and people I always looked up to, you know.
Yeah.
So been very blessed in that aspect.
Well, you're a class act. You're a dear friend. You're an amazing singer, amazing guitar player. Don't ever sell yourself short on that. So
Absolutely.
I'm just plumb tickled about what the future holds for Jake Vanover, because I know you're going to do great things. And if you step into a little bit of country stuff, hey, man, goes right hand in hand with bluegrass.
It sure does. Don't leave bluegrass behind, man. And if I was you, if I could give you any advice that would be worth anything, give it a shot, man. Don't not do it just cause. I mean, there's people that are going to play with you. I promise you that.
Yeah.
And, anytime I'd be free and I'd be there. So,
Well, I appreciate it.
Well, and I mean it. And there's a lot of people that would feel that way. I mean, you're great, and I know Jaylee Roberts thinks lots of your singing as well, so don't ever sell yourself short, man. You're great.
She's a very good friend, and she's one of my favorites. I mean, that girl can sing, but
absolutely.
I mean, she can.
Yeah, there's a reason
she knows
she's
how to sing a country song.
Vocalist of the year. Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys. I've heard y'all sing some old country stuff, but I don't think ever on an album or anything. But
I would love to hear y'all sing some bluegrass stuff on an album.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that would be killer. I'd love to. I still, when I went and talked to Keith when I met with him, he said, you've got that same thing, like, and he references to Zach Top, because Zach is like one of the only guys out there doing country that has that bluegrass background. And he told me, he said, man, don't leave that. He said, don't get rid of that. Keep that. He said, because there's so much that comes from bluegrass music that you can use in country, and it's kind of a rare find nowadays.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Zach's definitely got a great mantra going and doing a great job as well. So no reason why you can't do the same. So, but we appreciate you, man, taking a few minutes to hang out with us, and hope we didn't drill you too hard. You don't have any old good Josh Williams stories you can throw him under the bus for, do you?
No, the first time I met Josh, I think this was the first time I met him. He was playing with Rhonda, and Rhonda did a free show at Berea College in Berea, Kentucky.
That's it. That's where we met.
I was like, well, I met Rhonda and shook her hand and stuff. I didn't care anything about meeting Rhonda. I was like, I got to meet Josh. So I walked over there, and I was like, I said, dude, I said, you are. I said, you are my. I said, I just got to tell you, man. I said, you are my hero. And he said, well, you need to find a different hero.
There's better people out there than. Well,
that's so
But
funny.
and then he called me. He was coming to Renfro to play with Rhonda, and I was working at the old barn at Renfro Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing those shows. I was a member of the band there, and he said, I got this guitar I want you to play. And I went backstage. He was tuning Rhonda's mandolin. And I think that was the guitar that Clay Jones had.
oh yeah, yeah.
And
The
I
Dameron.
played it, and I was, yep, that was it. And I was like, man, this thing, the action was just perfect, you know.
Yeah, that's a mean guitar, man. I wish
it
I had
is.
it. Rhonda
It's-
still has it. It's hers, but it's, man, what a good guitar.
It's great. That's the action I would want to have on mine. I've just I never knew how to get what I wanted, you know.
Well, you know, did you ever get a chance to play Tony's?
Oh, God, no.
No. Well, he ended up having to have his neck reset several times in order to be able to get the pitch just right to have it as low as it was, and it's very low. But it takes some work to get it down there, you know. And there were some guys in Nashville that I would take my guitar to have them set it up and stuff, and be like, I tell them what I want, and they'd look at me and be like, no. And I'm like, no, I'll pay you to do it. Like, I want it this low, and they're like, no, I'm not setting your guitar that low. That's too low. And I'm like, no, trust me, it won't be. They're like, I'm not putting my name on the work if I'm doing that. And I'm like, okay, fine. You do whatever, you know. And then I finally found a guy that's like, man, I'll do whatever you want, you know. If you want it down that low, we'll make it work. And it's like, thank you, finally, you know. But it takes some serious work getting them. Sometimes you have to get that, you have to get the neck angle just right, and it takes a few, you know, a little bit of whittling and a whole lot of neck resets. But
Yeah,
it can be
you're
done.
Probably. I saw a video of you playing Tony's guitar, and I forgot what song you played on it. It may have been Shadows, but there's a video. Pam was recording it.
Oh,
you were sitting on a porch.
Probably Song for Winter's Night.
That was it.
Yeah.
And you're the only person I know that can get that tone. You know, if I played a G chord on it, it would just splat. It was, you know, you gotta have that touch to get that.
It's a different animal, but there's nothing in the world like it, man. You know, and the weird thing, and Pam pointed this out, was whenever we were doing that, because I was sitting on their front porch there at India's house doing that, and when I was first getting started, you know, playing, there was like all these birds and stuff chirping around, but when I finished the song, it was silent. There was no birds chirping or anything. It was like strange.
Wow. That's freaky.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it was literally like there was such a presence there. It was like, yeah, I don't know. It was hard to explain. It was like you could feel Tony being there, and it was very surreal. It was very surreal.
That's pretty cool.
Man, that's special.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jake, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to talk with us tonight, and we wish you luck on your new endeavors, and I definitely hope whatever you do that bluegrass or country music's a big part of it. So
Absolutely, man. I wish you much success in all that you do, especially if you're dealing with Keith. He's a great producer. You know, I mean, we have lots of big names to thank him for, like Alan Jackson and others, and you know, he's a great producer. He really knows his stuff. So congrats on working with him.
Absolutely.
So I hope that pans out for you, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate y'all.
well, we appreciate you, man. We love you, and hope you stay safe and have a Merry Christmas.
Y'all do the same, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Have a good night.
We'll
See ya.
talk soon.
All right,
All right.
see you, buddy.
All right.
See you.
All right, Mr. Jake Vanover right there. It's
What a
so
guy.
good. Had a great time with him Friday night, and appreciate him so much taking the time to come play.
Dude, what a talent, man.
Yep. Yeah, he get if you get a chance to go look at Josh and Jake playing Freeborn Man on Facebook, please do. It's pretty cool.
I didn't know that was on there, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, well, I was mad because I didn't record it, and then the next day I saw Katie had recorded it and posted the whole thing from start to finish, and so I shared it on our Hometown Bluegrass Show Facebook page. So, yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. You were pretty mean to him on stage trying to change the tuning of his guitar and stuff. So.
I just reaching over there.
Yeah, you kept reaching over because he was tearing it up, and you were like, "Oh, kind of slow down there a little bit."
He was wearing it out, man. I love doing stuff like that. Though,
oh yeah,
and I wouldn't do it if there wasn't respect. I can promise you that.
Oh, I guarantee you. You knew when he started playing there was going to be respect for him, and you could just tell. You could tell you were picking, but you could tell you also thought, damn.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, it's been a good episode. Thanks so much for listening to the Hometown Bluegrass Show podcast. Remember, you can find us on every major podcast platform like Apple and Spotify and YouTube and on timbats.com. So if you like this podcast, please share it with others. Mm-hmm. And thanks so much to our great sponsors like Paige K. Pose and Banjo Ben Clark, Allen Music Shop.com, the Lake House in Puckett's Fine Jewelry in Benton, Kentucky, and Custom Automotive in Calvert City. So remember to listen to the Paige Capo trivia question in this episode and comment first on Facebook, and you can win a Paige Capo. So if you do like this podcast, take a minute to leave us a review and a 5-star rating so more people can discover bluegrass music, because that is our mission in life, is it not, Mr. Williams?
Absolutely. Let the people know and hear the best music in the world.
That's right. We're passionate about it, and we work hard to help preserve and promote it. So thank you for listening, and always remember, if you got time to breathe,
you got time for music. A 1 and a 2, and away we go.
See y'all later.
He stood before the little yellow candles burning there, softly speaking words I never heard before. And I told him how my grandma said it troubled her mind so, such a fine man was